Hi there!
Oh,
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays! All that stuff. Hi, everybody! I'm excited. I am excited to show everybody the little video we did.
Yeah.
Um, Christmas Carol is a great story. It's one I really love, and it's a part of the public domain,
Hmm.
which is a pretty important topic I don't think enough people talk about. Um, And so this little video is going to talk about the public domain quite a bit. I think it'll be fun for peeps though. Um, but yeah, I'm so happy to be streaming again. Hi Marnie, hi Lycander. Hi to you, Aaron. Hi everybody. Uh, Hi Maxwell
Oh, Mac
Hastings, be voice actor. Hello,
Maxwell, hi. Hope you're
hello.
doing well tonight.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so, we worked pretty hard on this. How long did,
Oh, yes.
it took us a couple weeks, right? I think
Yeah, there's a couple different
a couple
recording sessions, all
weeks,
that.
and we had to, and there was concept and blah, 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 and it was a lot of fun to make, so I'm not gonna lie. And it's a little bit scuffy around the edges, but I think everybody's gonna enjoy it. Okay. So I'm gonna probably mute myself and
Hmm.
shut
Hmm.
up. So so we can watch the video.
Right, let's bring down the projector and all
Yep.
that.
And just so you know, afterwards, so the plan is, well, afterwards we're gonna create some VTuber concepts and maybe a little bit of drawing also. They'll be about this quality. This is a new art program for me, but I'll do some sketches a little bit as we go, just to kind of like see if we can come up with some design stuff a little bit. So it's gonna be with my art skill. You're gonna have to deal. Listen, I know I could be a little bit like better, but look at these paws. It's amazing I can draw it all. Okay, it's amazing. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet, and we're gonna start the video.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. And what do you want for Christmas, child?
I want to be a VTuber.
Well, you've got the poverty and stomach problems down. So all you really need now is a model and some lore. Do you know what you'd like to be?
I want to be a pink-haired demon idol.
I believe that's taken.
What about a diminutive shark girl?
Very done.
Then an orca instead.
No.
A cat, a dog, an eel.
All pretty much taken, I'm afraid. Maybe what you need is to look into the world of the public domain.
Public domain? What is that?
Why, it's the creative works that belong to all of us, to use however we'd like. Here, let me tell you a little story.
I just don't know. If I sign this contract, I'll become intellectual property. I'll be giving my rights away to a corporation. But they'll give me so much money. Could definitely use that for the world domination scheme. Not sure what to do.
Do not sign that contract, rays of old hawk. Ooh!
Strange apparition and yet familiar. Who are you?
I'm your old adventuring partner, Pac Marley.
Kind of ironic that you're showing up as a ghost.
Yes, it is. Rays of old hawk, Gaze, gaze upon this maze about me. It was built by contract law, various entertainment entities in life.
And this maze, those chains, it keeps you trapped for how long? A lifetime?
Worse, life plus 70 years plus 50 years if certain corporate loopholes are abused. I won't be free until 2098.
2098? But you first appeared in the late 70s. That would mean that a teenager who played you when you first came out could then have a child and a grandchild. And that grandchild could have grandchildren of their own, die of a ripe old age, and you still wouldn't be public domain?
And just imagine, I'm one of the oldest video game characters. It's far worse for the rest.
Oh dear. But how can I avoid such a wretched fate?
You will be visited by 3 spirits of public domain.
I see. Will the first one show up when the bell tolls or something?
It all depends on what SFX can be gotten for free. Waka, 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 waka.
Well, we're going to skip over the bar humbug, I think, and just go right to believing them. How do I get out of here? Where am I? Sign back there said Barcelona, Japan? Is that even a city?
Hello there, admiring my handiwork. See those windmills over there? Used to be giants before I messed them up with my magical lance here. Hi there, how are you?
Fine, I suppose. So the wind farm of giants. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm the spirit of public domain past. My name is Don Quixote. I am a magical girl.
See, I didn't realize that Don Quixote was a magical girl.
Well, I mean, I'm the reincarnation of Don Quixote. There's a lot of slander written about me in the past where I had been, doing foolish things and, just kind of living in my own head. But really, I was fighting magical stuff that then turned into mundane things, and so it made me look stupid. Very different. Very magical girl.
See, that almost sounds like you're taking the themes of the original work and making some rather major changes to them. You can do that?
Well, yeah. You could always do that, at least back when I was published. In that time, there was no copyright law. Have you ever heard of chivalric storytelling?
Well, I'm more of a wizard type. That sounds like a knight thing.
It absolutely was. People would write stories about knights, fictional, non-fictional, blended together, and everybody kind of just, copied everybody else's stuff and wrote whatever they wanted. It's kind of like your modern-day fan fiction, except you could publish and nobody really cared.
Fan fiction? Are you telling me that Don Quixote, the main character of what is arguably the first modern novel, was an OC Donut Steele?
Kind of. Yeah. So it turns out with copyright law, at least in America, it started in 1790. And the original copyright laws, you were only covered for about 14 years. You could go up to 28 if you renewed it. Then about 40 years later, in 1830, the law changed and it became 28 years base. It wasn't until 1976 that, the law changed and suddenly it became 75 years, or the life of the author plus 50 years.
76? Pac Marley didn't show up until 2 years later. Wow. But wait a minute. That number sounds a little bit less than it is right now.
Oh, well, that's because of the Mickey Mouse Protection Act, also known as the Sonny Bono Act, in 1998. Once that went live, it changed to 75 years plus the life of the author, or 120 years. And this all happened in response to the fact that Steamboat Willie was about to become public domain. Strangely enough, just like it's about to now.
So it paused anything going to the public domain for 20 years.
Yep. That's 20 years robbed from everyone. Pretty much all the pulp era heroes, a lot of superheroes, whole bunch of stuff suddenly that everyone would have gotten to use. Only the privileged few.
That's kind of depressing, really.
It is.
Well, I have to say, it's very valuable information.
You're welcome. Figure it'll help you in making your decision as far as whether or not to become, an incorporated entity. 'Cause
Right.
You could be there a while.
It does sound like it. Not to be rude or anything, but I only see one horse in the area, and it seems to be leaving at a rather fast speed. You might want to check on that?
Yeah! Let me know! Come back! Don't eat that!
Well, I suppose the original Don Quixote was also kind of a chuny. Dear. Oh, this place looks rather festive for the occasion. But, what exactly was going on in this place?
Hi there! Are you ready for adventure?
Lilaps? What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I'm technically a spirit. There's kind of a spirit job going on.
Wait, so you're the spirit of public domain present?
Well, not exactly, because today I am Lilaps the Pill.
Did you just call yourself a poo?
I guess, yes. But, that's gotten through most of childhood without too much questioning, hopefully. But anyhow, yeah, I'm the daughter of, Winnie the Pooh. And I can say that because Winnie the Pooh is public domain.
Oh, I see. So you're a bear girl today.
That is correct. I am a bear girl. But not only that, I am also a master detective, trained by Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, because he's also public domain?
That's right. I can look at you and I can tell at some point you had a fight with a manticore.
Well, yes, I don't know if I'd make that much of a deal of hiding the bat or anything, but I suppose
I
that's
also believe you had some sort of battle with a powerful undead creature.
That might be true.
Could I look at your hands?
No, but to change the subject.
Okay.
So Sherlock Holmes and Winnie the Pooh, so public domain now, fully in your power?
Yeah,
no one can stop you?
domain. No one can stop me. I can say whatever I want.
Well, we're on the other side of that extension that it got talked about, so there's more people becoming public domain now then, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely. There's a pretty good list of characters that have become public domain in recent years. I mean, there's Winnie the Pooh, obviously, and Sherlock Holmes, but there's also John Carter of Mars, and Tarzan, Little Nemo, Zorro, the Hardy Boys, and then as far as, film, Metropolis is public domain, and H.P. Lovecraft's Story, The Color Out of Space is also public domain, so all of those are pretty much free for anybody who wants to take characters from and write. Well, as long as it's the original work. It's important to remember that in many cases, while the character is now freed up, it's only the first interpretation of them. So you've got to be a little careful about how you do that interpretation.
Okay, so for instance, your father is a little stuffed bear.
Yes, he's a little stuffed bear.
But you do not have an uncle who is a tiger with a springy tail.
Not until next year.
And similarly, the big deal with Sherlock Holmes is that at this point, all of his original Doyle stories are public domain, so anything Doyle wrote is free.
Yep.
Adler, Moriarty, Colonel What's-His-Face with the air gun, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I suppose it should be mentioned if we're talking about these stories. I mean, one of the side effects of having almost 100 years between a work coming out and becoming public domain is that a lot of these were from, a time that you could describe as, what's the word I'm looking for?
Awful?
Yes, awful. So, obviously you and the audience who would be thinking about doing this, you're all bright people, so if you wanted to, it's good to have that warning in mind. But you should also be aware that part of the task would be to sort through these things and be able to separate for yourself the things worth keeping and the things that definitely should be left where they lie.
Yeah, and Drazov would know, because, Drazov, he's really old, and he likes old things and reads old stories all the time. So, whenever it comes to old stuff, remember to listen to people who happen to be just a little, on the aged side.
Yes, it is, sometimes a bit like rooting around in the trash to figure out what was actually worth keeping and what should be thrown away.
Yeah.
Not that you would know anything about rooting around the trash, I suppose.
But you're implying stuff. I'm not done any of that. Not really.
Right. Of course. Well, I thank you for this very informative talk on these things, Miss Pooh.
Thank you, Mr. Oddhawk.
Who clearly I've never met before, or something, I don't know.
Yes, we've never met before. Anyhow, I got more training to go do. I'm gonna go leave and, spooky stuff will start happening, right?
Spooky stuff? I didn't sign up for spooky stuff. What could possibly, oh dear. Where am I? What is this place? Who are all these poor souls imprisoned around here? What is this place?
This is the future, where they pass another law extending copyright yet again.
Strange apparition, who are you?
I am the ghost of public domain future. You may call me Streambot Wally. Ha ha ha!
Dreambot Wally?
Yes, a very legally distinct, parodious character.
Oh, because in this future, the creature you might be based on still remains as locked up as everyone else.
Indeed. If they pass another extension, no superhero, no video game character, no beloved childhood cartoon will ever be free of a corporate shackle. The very culture and history of our society will be bought and sold by some privileged few companies and those they deem worthy.
But writers and actors, creative types, they all just fought for their rights to make a living creating art from those very same corporations.
And if all these characters and stories became public domain, not only would every studio have more stories to make, they'd also be incentivized to create new stories, new characters, which would mean hiring more writers, more artists, and more actors to make them.
True, but wouldn't these new characters, these new stories, just be subjected to the same treatment? Locked away for over 100 years or more?
Perhaps. But if the Sonny Bono Act were to be repealed,
then we'd return to public domain content in our own lifetimes. But if not... This can't be the way it is. Right? This can't be what it's locked into. Are these the shadows of what may happen? Please, there has to be some way to change it. What happened? Where am I? Is it over? Wait, when am I? You there! Child! What day is it?
I can't believe they reused this asset. Cheap bastards. Why, it's New Year's Day, sir!
New Year's Day? Then that means that... Wait a minute. I missed Christmas? I didn't think it took that much time. Wait. Have they filed an injunction about public domain?
Not that I know of, sir.
Then there's still time. Wonderful. Oh, I shall keep public domain in my heart from now on. Yes, I will not sell myself to a corporation. I will fight for public domain whenever it becomes up. But also, I'll be sure to use the resources we now have available to us. Child, run down to the square and fetch me the plumpest mouse you can find. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. He could be my apprentice.
Oh, you can't do that, sir.
What?
Well, you can only use him as when he first arrived. Also, you can't do Three Musketeers, Jack and the Beanstalk, Prince and the Pauper, or even A Christmas Carol. We're really playing with fire here.
So annoying. Wait a minute. Playing with fire. Dante's Inferno?
Oh no, that should be good.
Excellent. I certainly have ideas for when we run into Sonny Bono.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Thanks everybody for watching our little production, our little play we did here. Yeah, Christmas Carol is one of my favorite stories, and we can do something with it because it is in fact public domain. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, we just did a whole thing on it, so there's not like a whole lot of information that needs to be covered. I hope we got most of it. We do have a fun fact about the fact that if we had our current copyright laws going, Disney would not have been able to make Snow White. It would have technically been illegal for them to make their first movie. And
I mean, life plus 75, the last Brother Grimm died 74 years before Snow White came out. Maybe ambiguous, but if the Grimm estate had the same kind of lawyers then that Disney had now, with our lawyers now, movie would have been tanked.
Yep, absolutely. So, considering that this company, through lobbying at things really hard, and also has made a majority of its films based around public domain properties that they then have locked off from other people. Anyhow, the point is, there's a lot of irony in that, and this law is essentially just sort of a certain level of naked greed. We had much shorter copyright laws for most of our history. And so if something comes up, we don't have anything yet, but if a law suddenly starts getting debated to extend, copyright law even further, go call senators. Go call senators and send emails and stuff. Actually have a reaction because, it's our culture. This is stuff we've learned our whole life, and the fact that we're never going to own it in our lifetime is kind of butts. And not great.
It is yours. Things as of January 1st, a certain mouse, at least a version of a certain mouse, will belong to you. So be proud of that. Be willing to defend that, and be happy to use that in any way you see fit. You deserve it.
Yeah. Because you know what? A lot of good storytelling comes out of previous good storytelling, and I think that is a kind of cultural heritage we all need to share. Anyhow, thanks so much.
Wicked wizards and... sorry.
Go ahead. No, Wicked Wizards. I want to hear.
Wicked wizards and happy hounds have been part of culture in various ways. So obviously, we've gotten help along the way.
Yeah.
All of you have too. It's a little tradition. You don't want that getting locked away from everyone.
Exactly. So I think once more, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Happy holidays.
All holidays, yeah. Happy all those things. I hope you all have a wonderful one. Okay, bye!
Bye.
Okay.
And we're back.
Yep, and we're back. Hi, everybody. I hope you had fun. I hope it was, I know it was probably a lot of information, but I hope it was an entertaining format for it. I want to make some VTubers. I want to design some new folks based on a public domain and properties. I might first. I'm like, okay, first we're gonna pull the chat, pull the chat. Who? Oh, yay, yay! Okay, any kind of specific characters people are looking for? Between me and Drazov, I think we got a pretty good handle on a lot of public domain characters, more recent stuff. So if there's anything we wanted to kind of like, if there's a specific kind of aim, like a specific kind of character you really want to do, we might be able to find something.
Now,
That's the first thing. I'm
mhm.
gonna put it out there to the audience for a moment, since this is and anything we come up with here, I don't 100% know how to do, but at some point I will try to get a Creative Commons Zero license and be like, listen, the concepts and characters we are coming up with here, other than the fact that they're derived from the public domain, they are free to use for whoever wants them. But yeah, we're gonna figure that out at some point.
Now, as a warning, honestly, I will say if you're thinking about streaming this Steamboat Willie, maybe not yet because we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Um,
I think that
per-
is fair.
though personally, I think it would be lovely if just about everyone on Twitch decided to just add in a redeem where Steamboat Willie comes on screen, says trans rights, and leaves.
I think that would be pretty fun. Boop, 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 boop. Little rubbery arms going. That could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. Mm. Um. All right. If nobody's got any like burning desires on things, we should talk about some really fun ones.
Mhm.
One I might not draw because I could just literally find a drawing of. I want to talk about the magician. You know which one? She's
Oh yes,
amazing.
oh
She's
yes.
freaking amazing.
Mhm.
Hold on. I'm gonna go find just a picture of her. And she's public
If it's the picture I'm thinking
domain.
of,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and this
yeah,
is one
that
who's
one's probably it. Oh my
yeah,
god.
this is one of those ones who's just fallen out of public domain in the time between.
Hmm.
So just nobody to claim it, and at this point, there's nobody to defend it. So she's free for everybody. One of those handful of comic book characters that way.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll be able to find that particular picture immediately. Right now I'm like, let's find a good one so people can get a good visual on this amazing creature, this wonderful being. Um oh no, that's somebody's DeviantArt. I can't take that one. That's a good one, but it ain't the original. I need a good original. There we go. This one's pretty good. Okay. So this let's see if I can paste this right into my program here. Boop. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Did it just literally plop it down, or can I move it? Okay, I can move it. Okay, now
There she is, the magician from Mars.
the magician from Mars. I gotta make her bigger so everyone can see this character. There is. I have this feeling. You know what, Drazalv, you go ahead and start talking about her while I try to figure out how I make this bigger.
Okay, try. Okay, so it's been a minute, but she I believe she has one Martian from a future where Mars is settled. She has
Mhm.
one Martian parent, one Earth parent. But when she was a baby, um, the hospital on Mars, somebody put her on a shelf, and next to it was a experimental ray because obviously experimental rays are left near the maternity ward at Martian hospitals. And this gave her strange powers. I believe her parents die when she's young, but she's got a somewhat cruel aunt that raises her. And so she just sort of has powers.
Yeah, I will. I gotta. I'm new art
4 issues
program.
of comic where all sorts of, first couple are just her doing weird little things as she escapes to Earth. She gets to Earth and just runs around doing strange things like overflowing a hotel with ink. She sees a guy robbing someone at gunpoint and turns that person's gun to a couple $1,000s, so he doesn't need to rob anyone anymore, etc., etc. She has a fight with a kaiju that can only be defeated by music. She leads an army against a big army on Mars. Then that's the last time the character ever makes an appearance, and that was it for them. But
Yeah, it was just pretty short. I think her nemesis was her aunt.
yes, the cruel
Crazy.
aunt that raised her. At the very end, it turns out this strange hooded figure who'd been doing things was actually her aunt, who now had powers despite never having powers because,
Yeah, sometimes you need them, Sometimes it's
yes.
necessary. I do not know how to expand this in here, so I might just see if I can find the other picture, the amazing one. We both know what we're talking about. You'll know in a minute too. Um, and Maxwell Hastings, that is fascinating. So what is this? It's an example of copyright back in the olden days of the Victorian era. A bloke named Pierre Alexis Ponson du Terrel, I don't think I pronounced that all correctly, but I tried, wrote a story about his OC Arsène Lupin thwarting the great mind of Sherlock. Doyle didn't like that, so they ordered a cease and desist, or the Victorian equivalent, and Pierre Alexis Ponson du Terrel acquiesced. Pierre Alexis Ponson du Terrel then went and made the totally original and semi-famous detective called Sherlock Holmes. And Doyle couldn't do squat about it.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. Oh boy.
And I've always assumed there was some sort of, because I'm well aware of the whole Lupin the Third anime, and so I assumed there was an existing character Lupin. I just didn't know anything else about it, so that's fascinating. It's also very funny since I know that there's a company that makes video games about playing Sherlock Holmes, and one of them is about him trying to thwart Lupin. So that now seems like a very silly British trying to get their own back. And yeah, well, at that point, yes, once you've got Sherlock Holmes, might as well run with it. That's kind of lovely.
Yeah. I mean,
Like in thinking like the in newspaper comics, the parody character Fearless Fosdick, who's just a version of Dick Tracy that literally shoots everyone.
yeah, I can't find. There is a hilarious image of the magician from Mars where she is, I think, leaping out a window, kind of floating, and she's just like, I can destroy space and time.
Just an amazing proclamation.
Come on, who's gonna say that? But also, if you could say it and mean it, amazing. But yeah, she had powers in quotations, and many of them, and incredible power of the magician from Mars. I think I'll just keep her picture up for a moment, because like, if you were to do the magician from Mars, I think you do want to probably play with her real name. Like, I think you could use that, just the title, magician from Mars. And then I don't know, like, updating her design. I actually kind of, well, she's got her little beret. Honestly, she's got kind of a good drip for the most part for a VTuber type. Like, okay, so she's got like her little
issues. She goes through a couple of iterations of design. Funny enough.
Yeah, but like, she got her little beret. That's pretty cool. It's got adornments, like it's got the yellow feather thing going. So I think that is kind of like, it's kind of charming, right? Like, let me change the. Sorry, I'm gonna new art program, everybody, new one. So just expect extra stuff. Okay. So beret. Yeah, this is not gonna look great. But but it's got like the feather already going. So like that's already like details, like, and like VTuber models tend to have extra details for no other reason. I mean, because you only have to animate them like the once, so like it's not like you have to hand draw it every time, so you can get pretty fancy. I'm pretty no frills, I think, relatively. I think the like strangest detail I might have is my little hair, my little antennas. Right in the middle of my forehead.
Oh, right.
But like, I don't have an excessive drip. Dre's got more drip than I do. But yeah,
I,
you could put some jewels and things. You could put like a cool, like fringy deal here. It's like there's a lot. And what she got this rope deal here. Like she's really detailed. Like, and that is actually pretty like good for a VTube model. Her loose shirt. I think the loose shirt might be. I don't know. I think you could modernize a little bit there, but like I think maybe less poofy sleeves. I don't know.
hmm,
It's my like just thought is yeah, probably slightly less on the poofy sleeve. That is like the only thing right now that I'm like, maybe a little more form fit as far as that goes. Um Boop-a-yo. So we keep drawing up this lady. I don't think she's pretty busy already, honestly. Like a cool belt. Obviously, we're very broad strokes here. Huh, curious though, will NFTs eventually have to become public domain? Huh.
uh,
Actually, yes, they would. Eventually.
right.
That being
That, you know,
said, they're pretty much dead as a concept and a value, so bleh.
yes. Funny how a lot of the people talking about how great they were seem to move over to AI at some point. I'm sure that means AI is a valid concept.
Sure. Um, yeah, no, her belt's got cool little details on it. I think you could probably get like a little crazier with it, but for the most part, I think a lot of her costume above the waist. I think where you'd start getting more details would probably be below. I poofy, yeah, the poofy sleeves. I'm not so sure about, which is why I'm like, probably also the poofy pants might be. I think
Yeah, I
I
think she's
think
kind of
she'd
got the
look
jodhpurs going.
I think she'd look a little cooler, and this is personally, I think she'd look cooler with like kind of a skirt of some kind,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it also, I hate seeing it's more like VTubery model, but if she had like a little skirt, and then like we could have, some interesting things on her legs. Like I think she don't need them, but maybe having some like little those look more like Tesla coils than like long hoopy but like yeah, little like bracelets, I could see her having some like little dangly kind of bracelet deals. Although them looking like Tesla coils might be funny. But
Right. I feel like there's the kind of person who'd want an image like that. They might be able to play around with the art to get something in
mhm,
between, like fun golden bracelet and sci-fi Tesla coil.
yeah. I think the cape would be one of those you would, as far as like a design for a VTuber, you would want to make it toggle so you could remove it and put it on or take it off as you saw fit. So like we could have her in like her kind of relatively like dressed down version. I'm thinking as far as the legs, I think leggings maybe could do. You could do. I guess it depends on like what your feels are, cause like you could do kind of like a high boot.
Hmm.
Um, like I think a high boot with like a little cuff almost on it. If you kind of see what I'm trying to do there, that could be kind of cool. Or it could just be just like a higher boot. But I think big long boots would be pretty cool, and do kind of the same color scheme. And I think those would play better, and they'd be a little more close to the kind of VTuber aesthetics that you usually see, which kind of have that. How do you even describe it? Anime waifu feel. I mean, not really, but pretty much a little bit of that anime waifu feel. Um, and I'm not doing a whole lot of detail on this right now. Mm-mm. But on the shot to the whole like her lock shows, I think that actually in some ways really kind of drives home some of a point that didn't get made during the video, but it's something I think is important. Parody rights are pretty strong overall. Like you're like, okay, it's a parody, and you're pretty much good to go. The problem, of course, being is eventually it's just the only thing we're allowed to make is jokes, and that kind of sucks. That's kind of butts. But yeah, I think Magician from Mars. If I were to update her, like her backstory, good God. I mean, the idea that like, oh yeah, she's from Mars. Like, okay, so you could kind of have the future girl thing going, which is already interesting, right? And then you go, and she breaks space and time, so I'd probably have it so she broke space and time and ends up, in the modern era instead of the
Right.
future. And it'd be one of those like, oh yeah, I'm the magician from Mars, and she should just do little like sparkles, like little fireworks. And it's like, and what's her actual name? What is the character's? I
Oh,
gotta
it's
look
been
it
so
up
long,
real
I can't
quick.
remember
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna look it up real quick, just because I think Magician from Mars is pretty fun. So her actual character name, is it something absolutely crazy? Jane 6EM35.
That's what it was. That's right.
Her name is Jane, everybody. Her name is Jane. 6EM35.
Mrs. 6EM35 to most of us, thank you.
Yeah. And
Ms., sorry.
Jane the Magician is also an accomplished pilot. In almost every installment sees her flying an airplane or rocket ship. Okay, and yeah, like, so like if you were to get your background for your VTuber, it'd be cool to do like the inside of a spaceship. That could be kind of fun. He was exposed to cathode rays as an infant.
It was
God.
cathode. I forgot it was very specific.
It's
of
very
what it was.
specific. It's so goofy. It's so fun. And I guess there's a couple other ways you could approach it if you wanted to play with the presentation. If I were doing a Twitch, stream, which can be a little different because you don't always have redeems. YouTube,
Right.
there's some programs you can get for interaction, but a lot of times you just have to decide that you're going to have an interaction. Hold on, I'm deciding to have an interaction. Chat,
What?
Does anyone want to have an isekai adventure? Anyone?
What?
Anyone want to go on a little isekai adventure?
Yeah, give it to him anyway, I say.
Yeah, I suppose so. Boom. You got truck tuned. You're done. You're done for. Your new life begins. Note, if anyone wants to see if a story or book they like is public domain, check out Project Gutenberg. They host
Oh,
ebooks
that's a
and
good
PDF of
call.
a vast variety of public domain works. This is awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Hastings.
Yeah, that's actually very helpful
Yeah.
thought on that.
But yeah.
Got a good repository.
Let's see, is there any other concept things I would want to? Yeah, you've been a font of information, and I do appreciate. Trying to think if there's any other things I would want to do, but yeah, like a redeem that might be fun for this is I think it'd be fun to go to like a black and white silver screen and have like the film flicker going. It probably takes some doing in OBS, but I think it would fit the kind of
Right.
old school pulp era superhero kind of aesthetic, like the magician from Mars, she's blasting off.
That, given the various like mech cockpit setups people have done, I feel like you could use that as a base and just sort of go that way to get a filter like that.
It's true. I'm a host of mildly useful information. For instance, the French word for cheese is fromage.
Omelette du fromage. Anyway,
but somebody ranted on that joke recently. The do is a
really?
mistake. They said it wrong the whole time. There was someone who was very upset about that. I think it's just worth noting. But yes,
that is.
fromage.
There's a part of me that wonders if it was on purpose or not.
That-
Probably not, but it's funny
Probably
to imagine
not,
they
but
did it
it's still pretty
to annoy
funny.
someone.
All right. But yeah, I think Miss Mars being from the future, time traveling back, and then her streams may be like, these are messages from the future, or messages to the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm preserving my time here, so that somebody can activate the time machine and get me back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun thing. I also think it'd be fun to like wait a long time and eventually be like, I'm going to reveal to you the most terrifying and awful villain of all time, my aunt. And just go on a rant about her like real life aunt.
Oh God.
I don't know. Or like a very realistic aunt, like she showed up to Thanksgiving, said she was bringing potato salad. And it was store bought. It was the tiniest little dish of it. She's a monster, everyone. She's a freaking monster. She would go and she would buy everyone socks for Christmas. And the sizes
Oh.
were always one too small. And when we complained, she said, well, you should lose weight. She's a monster. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think that could be a fun way to approach that. So yes, Magician from Mars, and there's precedent for doing this too with some public domain superheroes. If you've ever heard of Power Nelson, he is on the Twitch. He is an old school superhero. And he's a public domain superhero. So technically other people can do it, but there's a very specific Power Nelson being Power Nelson out there. And yeah, he's been tearing it up a while. He's pretty fun. He's pretty fun. Look him up sometimes. Let's go move on to a new concept, I think we've nailed it. I think we've nailed it with this one. Okay. Oh. Well, that was did a whole layer there. I'm smart by accident.
Clever. Wait, Toho is public domain? That is a fascinating decision he made. Or they. He. I think it's one dude.
Please tell me more. I would like to know more.
I know very little about it. I think the best way to phrase it is Shrine Maiden Bullet Hell.
Huh.
It's sort of a lot of people, it's a cult classic series of games. I know nothing about it other than it was just the first game is one dude having fun while in college becoming a programmer, and then somehow it just grew from there. I don't know much about it though, other than Shrine Maiden Bullet Hell.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll go into the Christmas Carol itself, because it's got some pretty fascinating characters, especially the spirits of various stuff. It's about Cloudy. Hi! Did you just get here? Did you miss the video? I'm not going to play it because it's like a half hour. I am, however, now that I'm thinking about it, I may go and poke around on YouTube and get that released.
Oh, so it's up publicly, or however the phrasing is?
Yep. Set the, so the video...
Not fully, but the creator is lax to the point of See, permissive is, well, that can sometimes be, it's nice, but can sometimes be a bit of a sticky wicket, as was recently found out this week, because, Toby Fox, gentleman who created, or person, I don't know their pronouns, the person who created Undertale, has always said, look, just if you want to use music from Undertale in your project, you go right ahead. I'm fine with it. However, the CEO of the company that released Undertale has been going around attacking fan works and things like that, and there's been a whole big kerfluffle. And so the legality of it is a bit wonky. So, well, it is nice to have people who are lax about it. In their lifetime when they have power, it's also good to have things nailed down rules-wise.
Hey, should I label this as an educational video or as an entertainment video? It's kind of hard to say. Or film and animation. It's a little of both, yeah. I think I might label it as educate. No, I should probably put it as entertainment. It's not quite fully educational. It is.
Fair.
We're
Fair.
also very biased. Not that that's
Yes.
a problem. It's just true. Okay, and just sorting out my tags here. Okay. Are there tags for this? Can I put tags anymore? Do tags not exist? I'm confused. Oh, there it is. Tags. Okay, this is gonna
I have
take a
literally
moment.
one YouTube video. I should
Yeah,
really
why?
change that.
Yeah, do a
Anyway.
bunch. You gotta tag them, folks. Mind you, they only have so much effect on thing. But I think it's worth talking about a lot of this stuff. Alright, those are some tags. Okay, it's all saved. It's there. If you want to go and watch it, you can. Yeah, I won't be offended. Tag them and bag them. Go.
Just get them marked and release the video out into the wild so you can track its movements.
Yeah. Okay, maybe do one of these characters. Oh,
Huh.
what did you say,
Subject
Maxwell?
music.
A lot of video game music can be used in creative works and videos. It's worth checking out with a Google search what can and can't be used. Yeah, I agree. That's smart. There's a lot of stuff that gets released as a Creative Commons Zero or just straight to public domain, depending on people. But
So long as credit's given, most composers are fine with it and have statements confirming that. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is very nice of them. I think, who is it?
You've got to be very careful, though, because in some
Yes.
cases you will get... Say you get like a smaller band and you're just like, man, your music kicks butt. I would like to put it in, say, a video game. And they're like, yeah, that's awesome. We want you to do it. And then they have a manager who is not down with that. And it can
Right.
suddenly be one of those like, yeah, you had the permission of the people who created it, but not the people who decided they own it. By law.
Right.
So, yeah, you got to be very, very careful when it comes to that kind of thing. Oh, I
See,
forgot to
also,
turn
that
on
whole
my
thing of-
Christmas
oh, yes.
music. There it is.
Oh, whoops,
Yeah,
yes.
it's okay. It's okay.
See, there's also that whole thing about Taylor Swift apparently not owning most of her music or something. This happens all the time with music.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Out of characters in Christmas Carol, I mean, they're all public domains. You could use any of them.
Well, but as you said, the spirits are quite interesting.
Yeah, I think the spirits are pretty interesting. And I think, out of them, the one I feel like got the most weird what's going on here potential is Ghost of Christmas Past.
Well, yes.
Like, their design is kind of nutty. Let me see if I can find a public domain picture.
Yeah, it's hard. I've seen exactly one person who decided to do the biblically accurate Christmas Past version.
I mean, really, though, it's...
Yeah.
The Ghost of Christmas Past is pretty nuts.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tom Scott did a very in-depth video on copyright. Oh, okay. I am hot and cold on video essays, but when you know like a specific subject has one out there, that's good to know.
This one's quite the ancient, but I think instead of talking, I think I can't find a great picture. I'm just gonna talk about it. So let's see here.
No.
It's very strong and very small. What does it look like?
No, Marley is the Chains one. He's sort of the prelude ghost before the past, present, and future show up.
So it's like a child. Their appearance Oh, goodness. There's a lot going on here. I think this is the original text, so I'll just start reading and we'll just try and take it apart after that. It was a strange figure like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium, which gave him the appearance of having receded from the view and being diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. The arms were very long and muscular, the hands the same, as if its hold were of uncommon strength. Its legs and feet most delicately formed, like those upper members bare. But the strange thing about it was that from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light, by which all this was visible, and which was doubtless the occasion of its using, in its duller moments, a great extinguisher for a cat, which is now held under its arms. So they're like a candle.
Yep.
They're like a candle, but they got white hair, which I'm like, that's pretty popular VTuber look anyway. Like, I hate saying my immediate thought is like, just imagine Galgura, but her head's on fire. That's not fair, but I think that is a look you could probably pull off or something close to that to get this. Now, you know, and it uses the extinguisher as a cap. Even this, though, when Scrooge looked at it with increasing steadiness, was not its strangest quality, for as its belt sparkled and glittered, now in one part and now in another, and what was light one instant, at another time was dark. Ooh, it's an animation. So it's like sparkly the whole time. So the figure itself fluctuated in its distinctness. So you would have them in like candle lighting all the time. Being now a thing with one arm, now with one leg, now with 20 legs. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Pair of legs without a head, and a head without an eye, which is dissolving. Yeah, I think this would be like a redeem where you just like biblically accurate. And the very wonder of this, it would itself, again, distinct and clear as ever. Oh my goodness. So like almost like an after image. Holy moly.
Well, a lot of it's supposed to be, it is made up of all of your memories. In the case of somebody like Scrooge, your repressed
This
memories.
is a 1910 interpretation. I might go ahead and throw this one up for people to look at. Edit, paste. All right, so we've got our little.
Oh, hold on, I'm in the way.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
just put it there.
Okay.
So yeah, like they look like just kind of like tiny little, tiny little gal or guy, depending. They look like a dress. They're probably tiny little gal, little like mistletoe thing in its hand, I guess. And they got the big cap that they'll put on to be like, oh, by the way, I'm constantly glowing. So yeah, you might have to play with some hothead. An old child, a man-child. What have you? Yeah, I can go with the text because it's public domain. But yeah, I think there's something to this. I think this one would have legs, because there's legs. No, but like
sometimes 2, sometimes 20.
Yeah, sometimes a million. But like, so to play around with it like a little more, because you can obviously change these. Like, Ghost of Christmas Past. I think, if I was personally to go like, I'm any name you want to do, because we don't get any other name. Ghost of Christmas Past. I think I would. Oh gosh, I got an alarm. No. Okay. I think I would want to probably do like an 80s kind of vibe and theme on it. I think they would have some 80s kind of clothes. I'd still do like they're glowing. I think I don't know what I'd do with the cap exactly, because like I'm like, no, that's a fun detail, but it's so like bizarre, and I'm like, well, what is a good way to douse a light that's a little more modern almost? But then again, they are of the past. But I might play around with that.
I mean, you could have like a jacket or vest, something, and one of the patches is the light switch.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Oh my gosh. No, literal lampshade she'll just throw on her head sometimes. I think that would be really funny. I think that'd be hilarious. So like, her hat is a lampshade and just doesn't like acknowledge it. Like,
nice.
And I'm gonna put on my hat. What? It's just my hat. That's like, You're a lampshade. You know, just indignant about its existence. As far as her attitude, you know, I kind of wonder, like, she's pretty altruistic in the story overall from what we get of her. Although she's totally willing to torment somebody with like visions of their past, which is kind of fun. It's not my fault. You did it. Was this Australian media use and you're looking for something concrete? Okay. Well, let us know. But yeah, I think... Okay, let me see if I'm feeling drawsome. Willing to do the draws. It was like...
Now I'm thinking about all three and the slight differences, because clearly they all enjoy teaching lessons. But I mean, Future's a slasher. Future's just the nicest slasher ever. Present is your disappointed, angry father. Past is kind of the little sibling. It's like, I'm not touching you. It's just your traumatic memories.
I gotta be honest, the like idea of just the lampshade on the head, overall, I'm like, that's got some character to it, like right out the gate. And then, oh gosh, that would be another way to kind of go with well, like, there's obviously different ways you could do it, but I don't know. I started thinking about, like, I gotta think on it more. Sorry, everybody. I'm like, stream of consciousness. Wait. Before you say things, think about them. Oh, okay. But like, I'm kind of enjoying the vibe of having like a little hat that is a literal lampshade kind of thing, and you know, we could. I guess that's where my brain went into almost like. I could see an almost like yokai-ish version of the character.
Oh, okay.
So you get like a little blue, like a little blue, like ghost light almost over the head. She's got the lamp. Quite a little lampshade. I just still find funny as a thing. But like, she's got kind of the lamp shade over her head, and it's kind of literal, you know. And then for the rest of her look, I guess I think she would be good to do very fashion doll, where you have a couple different looks, but you could do different past kind of things. So like, part of me just thought a kimono would be very cute. You know. I don't think I'm going to do a very good job on drawing one, but pretend I did a good job.
The suggestion is certainly there.
Yeah. But yeah, have like a cute little kimono kind of look. And then like, I don't know, I just think that seems like, because she's a spirit, right? And I think that, you know, when you get to anime stuff and spirits, definitely there's something to that. And then as far as the kimono itself and the design, you could do like, I'm doing purple right now, which I think was a mistake. I think that was a mistake, everybody. I'm not gonna completely undo my mistake, but you know, you could do like different like holiday type designs and stuff. Like, I think since she was holding mistletoe, maybe doing like a mistletoe kind of, you know, get the little holly kind of deals on there, you know. Have a bunch of that as kind of a design thing. You can even have like actual, like, physically be on there, you know, like hanging off like almost like a belt or something, and she has like little bits hanging as she goes, because I just think those would look kind of cool. And like, think of what else? What else you need, girl? I mean, she's passed, so we could also, if we were, and this is gonna be a mess because I'm just throwing a lot of concepts in one place. But, you know, once again, I was talking about pattern on the kimono. You could do, like, clocks or, like, little hourglasses. You know, have those, oh, that didn't do what I wanted to do. That also didn't do what I wanted to do. Dang. New art program, bad it out. Okay. Let's do these both together. But yeah, like, you could have little, like, hourglasses or little things on there. So you can do that as a thematic, too. I think that would work pretty well. It'll get you where you need to be. Let's see. Anything else on... I also still like the idea of the 80s one, but there are so many places you can go with, like, 80s fashion design. Her hair is shown to be very long, so I think it would probably be best. And it's supposed to be white to go just, like, super huge.
Oh, yes.
You know,
yes.
like, very, very big, about as big as she is. You know, get that in there somehow. Yeah, it gets really big. Big white hair. It's about as big as she is. I don't think anything else I would do as far as this as a character. I think my brain is just conflating the fact that usually in this scene we see Scrooge in his, like, you know,
the dressing gown.
Yeah, I'm there's a part of me that just keeps going towards, like, yeah, like, you know, do this, but also, you know, sleepy time. But I don't think she's really sleepy.
She's also
time.
a candle.
Yeah, she is a candle. So, yeah, and being a candle could be pretty looking dope. Oh, thank you, Auntie Howdy. But yeah, I think having some holiday decorations, these would be much smaller. But the idea of having little clocks and things like that is like as a repeating pattern on here, I think that would be pretty cool. Very big hair. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would do as far as all that goes. I mean, yeah, you want to redeem for the biblically accurate, or she just, like, hundreds of arms and legs and stuff just start, like, fading in and out. Maybe something for when she's angry. As far as the character, you know, it's like, I'm the ghost of Christmas past, so most of the year I'm just chilling doing nothing. I am so freaking bored. Oh my god. I said, go away. Go away, alarm. Jeez.
I mean, it'd be a decent excuse if you happen to prefer retro games, but obviously you shouldn't limit yourself necessarily.
Yeah, but that is an angle. That is definitely an angle. If you're like, yeah, I'm the ghost of Christmas past, and it ain't Christmas, so I'm bored. I'm super bored. You don't want to play some games or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been around for every Christmas, and let me tell you, there's goods and bad. You know, like, because I feel like, well, they're new, but they're old, but they're new. It's just a very interesting vibe. Like, okay, yeah, you're eternal. Like, you're Phoenix, like, constantly kind of reborn. I actually think that might be kind of an interesting angle too. To, like, she maybe has a hag form or something, like, where she's really old. You know, she just says, like, I'm a little old lady. Just because it's funny. You know, let's just say that whenever it's convenient. And then be, you know, complete gremlin in the meantime. Yeah. And I think that would be pretty good. I think that was pretty good. I don't got anything else to add right now. What do you got?
That's solid design, a general idea of the vibe. That's pretty good.
Okay. Boop that down. Okay. I think we'll do... how many more do we want to do? How are we feeling?
Feeling all right?
I'm feeling pretty good too. I want to keep stretching our muscles because we've only done 2, and one we basically just said, yeah, this old design's pretty good. You should probably use it. But that's kind of what I do with that one, and we should probably jump out of Christmas Carol. Although there's a lot of material to play with there.
Right.
To be perfectly honest, there's a ton to play around with. Like, I'm just thinking, and there is a part of me that's like, I don't think it's my vibe, but somebody out there, I think, could really rock a, like, female Scrooge mommy vibe that would work really well. What, she'd have the hat. I think she'd have some spectacles. She'd probably look kind of like Bayonetta.
Like, something in those directions.
But, you know, definitely kind of rocking that suit and stuff, and, you know, kind of reveling in the fact of, like, yeah, I'm rich. Like,
I hate that this is a good idea.
Yeah, a little bit. But, like, I think somebody's got
This would be fun. That would legitimately be fun.
Yeah. You know, she could have her little cane stick, you know. Oh, okay. The best thing she could have, though, the best thing would be so dumb, but I so want it.
What you got?
She needs to have a text-to-speech bot, and its name is Humbug. It'd be a literal bug! Bah, Humbug! Oh yeah, it's a humbug, and their name is Bah.
There you go.
Yeah. So the Humbug would be their little text-to-speech chat. Bah!
Nice.
Why are you talking to me, Bah? And then whatever nonsense people wanted to say, they get to say it, but pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one done. Simple enough.
Okay. Making sure things are good. Checking messages for a second. But yeah, I think there's something to that one that could be a lot of fun. You know. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of terrible things.
Well, that's easy.
I mean, yeah, because Scrooge is kind of.
Yep.
I am just. I don't know why I just keep getting this, like, image of her, like, kind of, like, winds her foot back and does, like, a big kick move, and it's just orphan kick! Oh, God. Humbug. Yeah, humbug. But yes, obviously all the spirits are interesting. Scrooge is kind of fun to play with. I think some of the characters are a little too underdeveloped to do a whole lot super interesting with. Like, Bob Cratchit, it's like, well...
There's not much.
There's not a lot to this man. Like, he is a good dude who does his job and goes home to his family. Tiny Tim could be interesting, but I would go way over the top with my thoughts on Tiny Tim. It'd be like, well, what am I going to do? Tiny Tim's going to be a cyborg.
Oh, God.
Project Tiny Tim, where a young man with a certain illness was, you know, his adopted uncle essentially said, I'm going to make you well, and had to put his vast resources in it. So yeah, Tiny Tim would be like a tiny little cyborg. Or maybe not so tiny, because, like, you know, time passes and stuff, you know.
Right.
But I'm thinking more on the small side, probably. And yeah, just robot parts, a lot of them. Yep, that's all I got on that. And anime orphan powers go. Absolutely. It's like Pokemon, but with small British children. Okay, I'm done.
God.
I'm done. I'm gonna get in trouble. I gotta stop. Anime orphan powers go. Turns out I was mistaken in my thoughts, but surely stand to give each other mutual permission off and do this small creative arts stuff.
Ah.
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
It's a good culture to develop.
Yeah. And, like, Yeah, I think giving everybody a little room to play with things. I do think that the internet has provided a whole lot of pseudo public domain where it's like, this was created. Who created it? No one freaking knows. It's a meme. It's spread everywhere. Well, sure, use it. Like, who can tell you no? It's created by everyone and no one simultaneously. Hmm. So let's hit another property. What we thinking as far as a public domain thing to talk about? I do not feel like drawing a Sherlock Holmes because everybody knows what that looks like, and somebody's
Yep.
was it? Is your name Amelia from Hololive? I think
Me?
pretty much
I
has
don't know.
the look, the vibe. She's
right.
got the whole detective outfit going.
I keep coming to one, but this one one would have to be careful with, not so much because the idea itself is problematic, but because it is, potentially different culture. But
Okay.
I keep thinking of Scheherazade.
I don't know enough about that to do any kind of riff.
There's not much to it. It's just the theoretical narrator of the Thousand Nights.
This article is still up. What you got, Mr. Hastings? But either way, I'm gonna. Okay.
Yeah, let's check it out at some point. But all right, so
I don't know if I have
let's
access
see.
to whatever you're asking about. Okay.
Well, I mean, we did briefly discuss Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Okay, I actually, honestly, as a concept, I think this is one of the best possible concepts you can run with. For a bunch of different... I love the idea of doing Don Quixote as a magical girl. I think that has legs. I used a base model out of VTube Studio for that. I'm gonna hope that was okay. I maybe not looked up as many things on whether... I've heard it's okay to stream with it, so I just decided to make a thing with it real quick. If it's a problem, I'll just remake that part of the video. Seriously.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I love it conceptually. Conceptually, I love the idea of I am Don Quixote, a magical girl. Like, I think it's cool. I think it would work. And I think it'd be funny because you could have a whole anime about a girl who has this, I'm the reincarnation Don Quixote, and it's like realizing, like, what do the stories say about me? Boom. I'm an idiot. Son of a bitch. I'm an idiot. But then realizes when she starts fighting the monsters that what happens is they're made from like normal objects and stuff. So like the bad guy turns a windmill into a giant and she has to fight it. And then it's a windmill again and nobody remembers. It's like that whole kind of it's kind of like World of Darkness where every supernatural has a thing that causes people to forget they saw them. It's that same kind of vibe where like, so what happened? I just slayed a giant. That's a windmill. It was a giant before it turned back into a windmill. It sucks. It makes me look crazy. I look like an idiot. You do look like an idiot. You don't have to help, you know? Which I think, though, it would be kind of cool because, you know, this also means that, like, the busted horse of whatever kind they have to ride may actually, in fact, be, like, it might be like a He-Man type thing. Like, it's like they've got, like, this crappy horse, but then when they, like, power up, it becomes this, like, majestic unicorn that they ride on or something, you know? And I think you could, yeah, just a lot, I think that's fun about that. And you could go back to, like, old Don Quixote's, like, all the little stories and be like, oh yeah, I'll pluck villains out of here and then see what happens when I glow them up as something bigger or something more, you know, grandiose, like the Knight of Mirrors as a total badass instead of a total idiot. Could be amazing, you know. I think that would be a lot of fun. Design-wise with her, I did some of the things I wanted to do. I didn't do some of the other things I wanted to do, so I'm gonna make a new layer again, because that's what I've been doing. Let me see if I can find myself a Don Quixote picture. It is a public domain. Oh man, some of these drawings are amazing. This one's good. This is a good one. Let's copy this image. Arrange. Edit. Paste. There we go. So we got Don Quixote on his horse, which his horse looks pretty freaking majestic in this drawing, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll admit that's a pretty happy workhorse.
We got Sancho Panza on his donkey.
Right. Thank you for saying it first. I was going to call him Pancho Villa, which is ridiculously incorrect. Pardon me.
I was worried I screwed it up anyhow.
Oh no, you got it right.
But
What?
yeah.
90%.
I think that you get to the point where it's like.
Yep. Okay.
I think what would be fun is having like story. I mean, I'm almost going just to full anime at this point. I'm barely even like thinking about
Right. That as a tuber.
as just a tuber, but like, you know, so they have like the one girl in their class that is constantly like picking on them and making fun of them. And then at some point we find out this is the reincarnation of Sancho. And they become part of the unwitting duo, and it's like, oh no! I can't be like you! You're an idiot! Well, sometimes us idiots have to stick together! And then it's more adventure, you know. So like, and you know, still magical girl transformation, glow up of everything, but still, I think it would be fun. I think that would be fun because you'd have like the rival to ally thing going, and I think that could be really neat. As for her look, let's see here. If I can get my drawing program to get along with me here. I think I like the kind of little conquistador-y kind of looking. I don't know what the name of that kind of helmet is. There is a specific name for it, but I do not remember it. But that little ridge thing, I just think that looks cool. It has a look to it. So I'd probably use
There's a
one
very
of those.
technical name for it, I'm sure, but technical name's not.
Having
all
her
that
as
fun.
a chuny and having an eye patch is kind of fun, but I don't know if I mean, part of it was just so I had a way to go quickly, like, this is a chuny, pay attention, they have a cursed eye for no reason. I think having, like, a magical girl version of a cursed eye could be kind of fun, though. Like, it might be the whole thing of, like, you know, because usually it's like, oh, your cursed eye, it's full of death and stuff, and I think instead it'd be funny if it's like, no, I have to keep it covered because I accidentally charm people.
Oh. I was going to say either that or she can only see the real monsters through one of her eyes.
Ooh, oh, that's actually kind of interesting too. So she has to put it on to like keep things. I don't know. They're both interesting ideas.
Right.
I think she need an eye patch. I think the eye patch is. I don't know. I'm thinking actually, if nothing else, maybe heterochromia, like.
Oh,
I think one of her eyeballs is like a little. That sucks. Let me get this slightly smaller. See if I can make this a little bit better. I'm doing these very generalized, but like, you know, one of her eyes should be like a little. I think she's got a heart pupil on one of them, but probably only when she transforms.
Right.
But still, it may be just regular type heterochromia when she's like. Untransform. What's a good color to pair with this? You know what? I think just for the sake of interestingly like different, she just a regular old brown eye. Blue would be like where my brain went first, but oh god, that looks terrible. That looks so silly. Listen, these are just notes. These are just notes.
It's
Please
for
don't
demonstrative
judge.
purposes.
Yeah. These are just design things. But yeah, same kind of little helmet with the little ridge kind of deal, and kind of looping out slightly like that. I think that would look good. As for like, let's see here, what else do we got going on? Well, okay, I like the idea she got a lance. So I think lances are, I don't know if lances are necessarily cool, but I think it would be a relatively unique
Right.
thing.
It gives
for
a
her to
distinction.
have. Yeah. I think a lance would be something that most folks don't really have. So I think that would be a cool, somewhat unique magical girl weapon.
Right, because from one angle, it's an oversized sword. Except, of course, no, it isn't. That's a historical thing. What are you doing, you crazy person?
I think that throughout the series, if this was an anime series, mind you, if it's a tuber, this is more like, well, what money do you have and how good is your model? I think she would have armor that would, like, she'd keep getting new pieces to her armor. I'm thinking you're gonna have a heart. I think you're gonna have a heart here.
Oh, right.
You know,
I like it.
But it is armor though. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, she'll have little shoulder pads. She'll have this. I don't think they'll be gray. I think she'll still have like pink titanium or something. But she's gonna have a skirt. She probably needs to have a skirt. But it can be like an armored skirt. That is a possibility. And then she'd have like trying to think. I'm like thinking of like cool cyber boots almost, you know? But
okay, right.
She's got armor. Is what I'm saying is, you know, she'd have armored leggings. She'd get gauntlets. So it might be one of those like things of like in each arc she gets like another bit of her armor back as she's like getting ready to fight the big bad, the Knight of Mirrors, who, you know, dwells in the mirror dimension, caught behind it, and then causes distortions of, you know, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the bad guy speech, like, you know, I unleash their true reflection, and then it shows like the windmill goes and like the shadow kind of looked like a giant, and suddenly it becomes like the shadow of what it was, you know? So like they have to find specifics. I like this armor fellow. Yeah, she gonna be cute. Would it all be pink? I think if it's not all pink, it's gotta have like pink highlights, you know? So like her ridge might be pink.
Ridge as pink is pretty solid.
I think maybe having little hearts like along the like rim. You know?
Like embossed, but also
yeah. Like, so these
like
would be
that.
like there. I think this would just be like shape fitting, form fitting. Let's see what else. I think what?
Well, something I'll point out is that with Quixote, there's a good period of time where his quote-unquote helmet is just a barber bowl. So the idea that when she's not transformed, an important part of her uniform is like the untransformed form of the helmet is something mundane and silly.
Oh, absolutely. I love that idea. Maybe it's a bowl. Maybe it's like a bowl that's like just been traditionally passed down in her family that she just has. Also, you know, when we, you know, magical girls, I know at least one. Actually, I know two. I might know more than that. There's Bagel and No Show. Those are the two I'm thinking of right now. But, like, yeah, she could have, like, a little family bowl or something that gets passed down. And then at some point, she just stupidly, like, puts it on her head and then just light starts pouring out. Like, what happened? It's just a bowl. And then maybe it's that whole thing of, well, yeah, it's like a magical girl thing, because it's really hard to fit that bowl onto your head if you're, like, adult-sized. Unless your head is extremely pointy. You saying I had a pointy head in a past life? Maybe. Maybe you did. But yeah, I think having a little family bowl is a thing. We're going a little too deep anime, I think, on this lore, but
Maybe.
but you know, I can't help myself. I think about these things. And so yeah, I think the armor would go back between essentially gray and pink highlights. Oh, that's kind of in between. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I have seen pinked metal. I don't know what the right word for it is, but it's something that I've seen before and seems to work very well.
Yeah. I think if there's anything else I would do with this character concept wise. Especially if I'm getting back to VTubing, which is a fun thing. I think it would work fine as a concept, and this will sound weird. I feel like more of like a YouTube VTuber over a Twitch one. I say this partially because I go like having that kind of deep lore is the kind of thing you see more in groups like a Hollow Live or like Idol or something like that, you know, one of the bigger groups, Niji Sanji's, etc. So I think having this, like having a cool armor thing and kind of a glow up and a really advanced backstory, and maybe she's just one magical girl out of a group of magical girls. Which, oh gosh, that would be an interesting project in itself. Public domain magical girl group. Like each is a different public domain character who's like from the past.
Fascinating.
Yeah, well,
I like this idea.
I think Don Quixote is a really good one for some pretty obvious reasons.
It's a good strong point for it.
Trying to think of who else I would probably. It'd be very like I kind of am trying to think of which groups you'd want to draw on. And I was like, well, you can't do just knights, I don't think.
Right.
Because if you do, it's like, well, you're going to go to Arthur, and then you're never going to leave because you don't know any other knights.
Like, at that point, it's Arthur, the Russian Bogatirs, maybe the Musketeers at that point.
Yeah.
And there's like a handful, maybe, of samurai you can draw.
Right, and when it gets to, like, Musketeers or Arthur, they're already their own kind of... They bring their own whole group, right?
Yep.
So it'd be harder. So I think it'd be better to just like pick some different public domain properties that are interesting. And I think probably avoiding fairy tales or myths, you know, like try to pick some stuff that's a little more unique. I think a Sherlock Holmes magical girl would be reasonable. I think that could be done. Let's see, who else would you want in a group like that? And then you get into some stuff where you're like, yeah, and that's one of the big problems of public domain being so old is some stuff I'm like, nope.
Yikes, yes.
Yeah, little yikes, especially as I'm looking more towards fictional sources. And okay, this one would be...
Oh no, what do you thought?
You would have to play with the vibes a lot, but Frankenstein. I think I love the idea of so like you just have them be like she's like the doctor, like she's like a mad scientist, but then she like brings out two big sparking like electrode things, puts them to two little bolt earrings she has, and just shocks her. That's like her transform sequence and turns into like, you know, big green powerful.
That's great.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think that would be a very fun idea. Yeah, like a Frankenstein, a Sherlock, a Quixote, and I don't know from there. 3 is almost enough. I think for a VTube group, usually they do at least 4. So there'd have to be one more. Now we need to poo. I think we need to go with characters that feel more like they're reincarnations, so they need to be people that could exist in a world.
No.
I'm trying not to do too much in the horror genre either.
Right.
Because it's a lot of it's public domain good stuff, but and there's also the fact if some stuff gets so ensemble into itself, like Wizard of Oz or
Right.
Alice in Wonderland, where I'm like,
But that brings some other things in.
yeah,
You're
you
right.
almost have to do them almost into a franchise unto themselves. I think Alice in Wonderland would probably be. I lean towards that more because,
Mhm.
well, one, we have a Knight of Mirrors, so Into the Looking Glass suddenly gains
Oh, right.
some like
Yep.
some more
That's a good
legs for
point.
and she could be like the one who is initially a bad guy but is really a good guy, but there's like
Mhm.
a bunch of things and they kind of have to save her because the wonderland she fell into is the Knight of Mirrors dimension, and
Mhm.
that could be a lot of fun. I think that would work for a little VTuber group idea. I'm gonna do just a few more little scribbles on here. I don't want that color no more. Let's do more to bright pink. Yeah. But actually, I'm thinking on second thought, what I think we'd probably do here is more the actual like steel, like a steel skirt, that kind of deal.
Oh, yep.
And
Okay.
then go ahead and do like she got like a tabard type dealie.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like
Right.
the little oh
Yep.
shoot, what did I do? Oh. Accidentally pressed a button to erase.
Yep. The waist tabard.
Yeah. Like something like this I think would be good.
Oh,
Romeo and
Juliet.
Juliet. Ooh.
Hmm.
So are we talking about
Let's see.
as a full VTube concept or like a
Yeah. Well, now
or
I'm
in
going
addition
through.
to this thing?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like for your magical girl team, I feel like maybe. Brain suddenly says Hamlet, which is an unfortunate thing to inflict on anyone.
Okay, would be a cute couple VTuber pair. Maybe
that would be interesting. Be like, so. I mean, the lore writes itself. It's like, okay, so it turns out, the priest's poison just put us both to sleep for a really long time.
Oh no, I was gonna go with them being undead.
Oh god, that's better.
I think I would go with them being undead, but I think I would go with a different undead type for each of them because that makes it more interesting. But I like this idea though, like a Romeo and Juliet.
That could go places, yes. Yeah.
And I think the idea of them being undead is fun too, because then you have already built in, oh yeah, all the events of Romeo and Juliet have gone down, and they've been a couple since Rising. Now when the Rising takes place, I'm not sure, but I think they should. But like I said, I think they both be slightly different undead.
Right.
And I'm just not sure which way to go with it. So how do each of them die? I'm trying to remember.
Him, it's poison. Her, it's stabbing herself.
So she stabs herself. So, because like the stereotypes in my brain go, of course she's a vampire, but I'm like, no. She really?
Well,
Isn't there something better you could do? Something different? Something a little more interesting?
Well, yes. I mean, after all, she wouldn't be the vampire. She's the sun metaphor in the story.
Yeah.
When they first meet, she's on the balcony up above, but when they die, he's laying on top of her so that the moon is covering the sun. And the guy even says, a gloomy peace, the sun will not show its head, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing that lecture thing again, aren't I? Shakespeare had a thing for eclipses. It's not my fault. Anyway.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So wait. My brain turned off a moment. So what are you saying, Grace?
Well, basically, in the story, Juliet's a metaphor for the sun.
Oh,
So,
okay.
It's more of this imagery that repeats. I don't know if that helps with figuring out an undead type for her, though.
Let's see here. So Romeo and Juliet, tragedy. We got ourselves some classic arts. We do. We got ourselves some classic arts. I'm gonna grab one. 1870 oil painting.
Oh.
Yeah. Copy this image. It's ridiculous, by the way. But, you know, we need somewhere to start. Edit. Paste. He's up on the balcony. So, honestly, going from this image, I'm like, well, he's definitely the vampire. He's going for the neck. He's wearing lots of red. He's definitely a vampire. And, of course, she's the sun. She's even dressed in yellow and such. That might be interesting on a level of, like, maybe they're a couple and they're together, but there's also, like, a weird kind of, like, thing keeping them slightly separate. Like,
what?
Like he burns literally every time he gets in there. Like she's literally sunlight.
Something like that. You could do that for sure.
Yeah, I think having him as a vampire, and then like the poison was something, you know.
Oh, right.
Something different.
Right, a certain mix on unexpected blood, etc., etc.
And Juliet used a cursed blade upon herself.
Oh yes.
Didn't know, so she unwittingly sacrificed. She should be like a demon. So basically, she sacrificed herself to some sort of demonic entity and became like, you know, like a demon thingy. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if we're deep into the lore now, so it's technically it is Romeo's dagger she stabs herself with, and her being from a rival house, I can see there being some stupid thing where Romeo's father had a curse put on the blade should it ever slay a Capulet to, like, I don't know, super damn them or something.
Oh God! Right. So yeah. So a demon and.
So she's some sort of sun demon.
Yeah, actually that. Oh gosh, yeah. I kind of see that. Sun demon. The sun demon would be different too. Like nobody's.
Right.
I don't think anyone's a sun demon yet. Not that I know of. Okay, let me see if I can move this around a little, so I'm not blocking the entire drawing while I try and come up with stuff. Sun demon though. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm thinking like, so she's gonna have horns, right?
Oh, okay,
But
like big golden horns.
I'm thinking she has a bunch of them.
Oh,
So that it's kind of like
the
sun itself, you know, like
right,
shiny. I you know, I'm just gonna steal the color off of this real quick. Like, this isn't quite blonde, but yeah, her hair can, you know, also be. Oh, that came out really brown. It looks more blonde in the picture. Boy, is context important. The things we see with their eyes are not always true, everybody. Not always true.
Plus, there's like 2 or 3 shades in her hair, so...
Yeah, I might have just caught the wrong one. Let's try again. Let's see what we get. Big money, no whammy. I'm just gonna adjust it up a little bit. You know what? Yeah, she could do orange. It's kind of a hair color to go with the... kind of play off the, yellow horns she's got. So you can have all these horns. I think she should have very fire eyeballs too, you know, like...
Oh, right.
And mind you, these are They'll be like normal anime eyeballs, but
Gotcha. But like as a general, are you thinking of that as like the pupil or
yeah,
the?
yeah. I'm thinking
okay.
the middle is gonna be very orange, kind
Or
of.
iris. Do I mean iris? I think I mean iris.
Either way, the pupil is the black part, I believe, and the other is the
Right, yeah.
sclera.
Pupils are black, but iris, and then the cornea is the outside that's normally white.
Yeah.
I guess, yes.
But either way, yeah. Orange.
It's important to know the differences of those when you're making your unique character.
Right. So either way. Ooh,
Oh, just
I did that by
different colours for
accident,
different
but I'm
ones.
kind of liking the idea she's got like some
Oh, the little whatever you call that. Yes.
yeah, the little things
I like
beneath the
that.
eyeballs. See, is there anything else specific? I don't think she does. I don't feel like a collar. She's not gonna have a choker or anything like that.
Okay, so and
But-
not like the frill.
I am thinking of frill though. I'm thinking like almost it go up.
Like the Queen or Elizabeth, like the Queen Liz sort of.
Yeah, like it goes up,
Mhm,
and then probably she'd plunge way down because
yes.
Yeah,
because
why
it's-
not?
Yep. Because she's a tuba.
Yeah, V for VTuber. That's why it looks like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I was
yeah.
referring to. Obviously.
And I think it all goes down into a somewhat elegant gown. I'm thinking
yes.
it's. I can't draw it because I don't have that pure talent, but I'm thinking it would be let's see here. Airbrush, just to get some color in here a little faster. I'm thinking it would be kind of lacy,
Okay.
like lots of little holes and extra detail and embroidered kind of look to it. And let me see, what else would the Sunbeam have? I think she's got some pretty wicked claws. That's my thinking. Is that, what's it said? A ruff? Yeah. I'm not thinking of like the big white, thing there, because she's not gonna cover her neck. She ain't no Victoria, and that ain't what's happening. But I am thinking though, yeah, she's.
I got a little something in the back.
Yeah, she's. I think when her like hands are extended, like that's too much, but. Because we don't. I'm not drawing a hand, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna kind of draw a hand, but please bear with me. My hands are gonna be. Ooh.
Good enough.
Actually,
good
though,
enough
this is pretty close to the kind of thought I'm having. If she has some wicked claws, or at the very least, when we get to like her nails, they're gonna be like very clawful and yellow. Sun claws. So yeah, she need a tail. I'm not feeling the tail as much. I think that depending on how much she's paid her model mama or whoever, she might get some like wings made of fire. So like every once in a while she busts out with some big old.
Yep.
That did not look like how I wanted. But you're seeing what I'm laying down.
Oh,
here.
definitely.
Yeah, like she gets some flame wings going.
I mean, I do recommend wings when you can get them.
Oh yeah, I imagine you're a fan.
Nice.
I don't have wings. Why don't I
Well, that's
get
on you.
wings? Oh, yeah, it is, I guess. Why don't I got wings? I got a tail.
You got a tail.
I got a tail.
Tail's pretty darn nice.
I do like my tail. My tail is good. Hold on, it's been a little bit. Ah, it feels good to wag my tail.
Assets, everyone. They're great. Anyway.
Good stuff. Okay, I feel better now. I feel like I've just made my life a little better. Yay. Okay, I need to do that. I get it out of my system. So yeah, like a solar theme. Oh, what
Yeah.
the heck
Oh,
did I
what?
just press?
You found a new tool.
I didn't want
Who
it.
knows?
No,
knows what it
escape.
was?
What is this? It's like a giant circle thing. The hell did I do? What did I press?
I think you gave Bob coordinates? I don't know.
I don't. What's going on? What is this? No, that's not it. I don't think. Boop, 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 boop. This is where the bomb goes. I don't know why I'm destroying everything. Let's see. Do you go away when I do this? Nope. This whatever I did. Oh no.
Huh.
Am I gonna end stream just because I've been defeated by my own art program? It's possible. No, not yet. Oh, that's kind of cool. So now I could do that. Buttons that are surprising me and messing with me. I don't know what I did. If I change, is it a view thing? This function is a radar. Yeah, she's just radiating power out. That's totally what's going down. This looks sick.
This is a very fun design.
Yeah, I think it would look pretty cool. I think there'd be like a stylized kind of like a whoa. Okay, you do wacky circles. That's what you do. We are not doing that. I might honestly have to stop if I can't I found it. Found the button that had gotten pressed somehow. We're gonna just turn that off.
And there you have it.
Okay. But yeah, like I think it would be a little less obvious in this, but I think she'd have like a little stylized sun, and I think it would build into the embroidering kind of work going on down here. So yeah, she'd be a sun demon, and I think that would be pretty neat, just because, like, well, one, it's a strange, different kind of damnation, right? And two, the whole thing of like, oh yeah, and this is my lover, Romeo, and like, you know, he just kind of wearing shades, yo, what's up? It's me, your boy. Yeah, and I think that would be pretty good. I think it would be pretty cool. Let me just... And as far as her hair goes, I'm thinking I'm kind of digging the idea of it, like, being more back in, like, a ponytail kind of deal. A little less ever-present, you know, a little less... Like, a little tighter. Like, not that she doesn't have the hair, but that it's kind of, like, tied back, you know. Okay, off. Yeah, how do I keep doing this? Jeez. Okay, whatever. The art program is giving me fits, everybody. Not too bad. Yeah, I think this is a pretty cool idea. I think Juliet the Sun Demon would be neat. If anybody wants to do that, you are more than welcome. If you have a vampire boyfriend that you think would be funny to see them burn every time you you snuggle, that would be pretty good too. Yeah. So some sort of sun demon, and that's how they kept them apart. Kept them apart, eternal or something. Oh my God. And, yeah. Weird poison turns him into a vampire. Weird ironies. I have the feeling these were both plots to destroy one another. Like, this is our super weapon to be able to,
Oh, right.
you know, turn somebody into a vampire, and that's how we're gonna win our war. And then it's like, well, we've got our demons, and then it's just, oh no, the kids, they both dead, and they both took them.
Oh god, just got all worse.
Yeah, the real tragedy was when, you know, Juliet and Romeo destroyed both their houses a week later. I'm not saying that's what went down, but now I'm kind of like, oh god.
Well, yes. Especially when you go, it's like, well, technically speaking, yeah, there's a priest right there. He could step in at any time. He's on their side.
These crazy kids out of the light of God, you know, you ain't getting into heaven. Go have each other for eternity.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're married. In my book, it's all legal.
Appropriate
Bye.
punishment for them crumping themselves.
Themselves.
I mean, you know, they were teenagers at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made bad decisions.
It was all pretty wacky.
Yeah.
I mean-
yeah.
You make a lot of decisions when you're young Leonardo DiCaprio. Do people still remember that movie?
I'm
Anyway,
pretty sure people still remember that movie.
priest encouraged all this.
Priest
He did.
encouraged all of this. Well, yeah, he's a priest in an anime. The chances of him being evil are basically 50-50.
You know, that's a very good point.
Like, he might be just a terrible old man. Like, now I've manipulated things and I've destroyed both families, thus the church can reassert its dominance in this area. Now I'm just gonna go send paladins to kill these two kids.
Though, granted, my brain then goes like, well, at that point, if we're fleshing out as an anime, then I think Mercutio's not actually dead because you didn't use cold iron to kill him and he was a fae the whole time. But
I mean,
that's rolling things out a bit too far.
maybe, but you know,
He does have his quick map speech.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Well, yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know if
Yeah.
I feel like trying to draw up some vampire drip. 'Cause,
Yeah, I don't.
like,
I
I
don't really know what to
honestly do think
different.
though that this particular, like, I think this is gonna F everything up for a second. Yeah. But I think this particular drip has some it has some potential.
Yeah.
You know, with the reds. And just the little thing around his arm. I think that's pretty fancy. You know,
That's true. That does translate well to Nightborn activities.
yeah. I think that would. I mean, his ear almost looks like it's pointed by accident. I think that's just his hair kind of coming up a little bit where his ear is, but it almost looks like a pointy ear. He can do it. I believe in him. He can be vampire Santa Claus. Do what you want. Above! It's Clyde! Hi, Clyde! We're designing VTubers. We're coming up with ideas based on public domain stuff. Thank you for the boop! Okay, Clyde, were you here? Can you guess what character this is? Have you heard what we've said? The sun demon is Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. Things got very complicated.
Mhm.
But thanks for coming in. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, she turned into a sun demon due to a cursed blade. And Romeo's a vampire. Are you baking cakes?
Oh, nice, very nice.
Ooh. Yeah. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I think at most I have one more in me. At best. I think we're hitting the end of my stride for the moment.
Right. It's been a pretty good streak.
Oh yeah, we did a bunch. We showed the video. The video is now public. And I'm just trying to think if there's any other like public domain thing. I'm like, no, we need to slap down on this now, let people know. There to you.
Nobody
Nope.
jumping out.
Yeah, I'm reviewing it in my mind, and there's things, but there's nothing that I'm like, no, their design is so good, or their fictional elements are so stand out and important in my mind that, like, yeah, and avoiding obvious things.
Right.
Like, I guess that is worth repeating. If you want to be an Alice in Wonderland VTuber, you can do it. If you want to be a Wizard of Oz VTuber, you can do it. Nobody can stop you on either of those.
Is that one on the line? I'm not. Oh, it is, isn't it?
Which one?
Wizard.
Wizard of Oz has been public domain for a while.
Oh, cool. Good. Not that I had plans or anything, but it's...
Like, there's
I'm
a
glad.
reason why there was a million things that were, like,
Oh, right.
Wizard of Oz related for a while there. Because,
Right.
like, that's public domain, baby. I'm gonna make what I want on it. Now, the movie, I don't think is public domain.
Well, no,
but,
not that, so be careful in your designs, people,
But, you know, there's definitely things you could draw on there. I don't know if all the other Wizard of Oz spin-offs and novels are quite there either, because I don't remember how many of those got made. Might look
I
it
wanna
up
say
real
10.
quick.
Might be more. There's a lot, but also there's a publication order. See, speaking of things that have gone on for a long time, a publication order and all that, as cool as it would be, because there's still plenty of it, their works that aren't necessarily public domain, I would be careful about being the Hardy Boys. But the idea of boy detective VTuber is fascinating.
Yeah, I think that one would be a little tricky, but you could
Yeah.
probably manage. It looks like the last of the Wizard of Oz series was published 1920. So I think that means it is
we're good
all...
now, basically, in the last year or two. So that's good to know. So anything from those novels,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of stuff in those novels, is open to anyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, Maguire got permission from the estate or something to do what he did 20 years ago, and that shows you one route you can go off of. So yeah, go to town, kids.
Yeah, any of those. I'm trying to think of any of the characters out of that. I'd be like, nobody would normally develop this one, but this is the one I'm going to recommend you do.
If I knew the lore stronger, I would make an argument for something, but that's one of those areas I've never... It's on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make an effort this year.
I mean, you know, the base cast is pretty it's pretty strong. You know, like you could probably do a scarecrow or a lion or a tin person or the wizard or Dorothy or her pet dog.
You know, the dog streamer whose owner Dorothy is the text-to-speech would be an interesting thing to do.
It'd be different. Flying monkey, that's important. Let me take a moment, because I don't know. I'm pretty sure that is in the book. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So you could be a flying monkey. And, you know, if and obviously the design, winged monkeys, boop-a-doo. Yep, 1900 children's novel, Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And, jungle monkeys with bird-like feathered wings, playful, intelligent, and speak English. Huh. Interesting. Lot of little things to read on that, but yeah, you could totally do that. I think it is maybe too tempting to be like, I'm a winged monkey, my uncle is like Wukong or something, but I don't know. That's a tempting place to be. But otherwise, if you're just like a run-of-the-mill, like, I kind of go, okay, what do? You know, like, because you're a particular flying monkey, you're one of many. Where do you go? You know, you could do some regular type, actually, I'm going to go back, because I think there is actually some public domain drawings of these things, right? Okay. Wizard of Oz flying monkey. This is the last one. I think this is a fun idea, so let's try this. I gotta get the original works drawing, because the film is not, I believe, in
My
the
uncle's
public
cousin's
domain.
brother, sister's mother's former roommate was Wukong. Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
that sounds weirdly correct for Wukong, honestly.
Oh gosh, actually, you know, that would actually be a fun bit. It's like that person who's always like trying to find like who swears they have that connection. They're like,
Oh,
yeah,
the
no,
23andMe.
totally related to Wukong. And they like pick up a staff and like hit themselves in the face by accident. They're like, yeah, I'm totally tight. They're definitely related to me. You know, basically, you know, family. And then anytime you talk to like a Wukong person, they're like, who are you again? Oh, knew it is a bit. Knew it is a very good bit. Okay. So this is an. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that layer. Edit. Placed. So this is a way old public domain drawing, which I guess that's
They're
Toto.
They're like griffin monkeys.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. But playful, intelligent, and they can talk. I mean, that's pretty good. It's
Mhm.
pretty good. Yeah, be careful with what media you use. Your original works might be public domain, but derivative works might not. Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep, that
that's
too,
kind
so-
of the thing.
Things like illustrations, make sure they're from old enough editions.
Yeah, that's why I read it
Yep.
first. I was like, how old is this? It's like, oh, from 1900? Huh?
Yeah, I believe every image we've been showing is either, is in public domain one way or another. Either from The Age, or in the case of Magician from Mars, falling out of it.
Yep.
As a result, obviously, of her destroying time and space.
Mm-hmm. Oh, time and space. He never had a chance. Not with the Magician from Mars around. Okay, so let's see here. What could we do with this? I'm not a big fan of your little hat. I'll be honest. It's not doing it for me. But if she had like a little cap.
Like a...
Like...
I'm trying to think of a cap design that, like, avoid the way they do it in the movie, which is like more like a bellhop cap.
I'm almost thinking like a sports cap.
Oh,
or like
a tennis visor?
or maybe even like tennis visor. Yeah. So like a little, it just goes back, just a little brim, little thing she wears. These got kind of like pointy ears, so we could do that. We're allowed.
Right.
And let me. We'll just decide on so I think she just have slightly pointy ears, because pointy ears are fun. I think she would have that that kind of nose thing going.
Okay, yep.
And I don't. A lot of times people do like a kind of like, I almost got like a fuzz there, but maybe we just give her some like hair that just like kind of, two little loops that come down.
Yep, okay.
Just as a thought. And so like, let's see here. And is she gonna have a lot of hair in the back or no? No. You know what's weird? And it's just because of how I draw poorly. I mean, how I'm drawing. It's just a thought of the moment. What if she's really goth?
Oh, God.
Like, I think as a design thing, like, and not just like goth, but like, kind of, almost has the sleepy store clerk vibe.
Okay.
It's
Yep,
just like,
right.
hey there, yeah, I am a winged monkey. Welcome to the castle. All I do is give tours. So she'd be like a tour guide. She'd be a winged monkey who lives in the castle where once there was a witch, and she just... yeah. Tour guide. So... yeah, she's like, hey there everyone, welcome to the castle. I will be your guide today. That's great. Everyone just follow me for a bit. I'm gonna show you around. And then so she has the little brim thing, like, it's almost like a welcome to McDonald's vibe a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But she should have like a uniform, but like the uniform should be kind of sloppy and
yep.
also like non-functional because it's essentially there for the tourists. Pretty sick hat. For whatever reason, they remind me of Zenigata from Lupin the Third. I would watch Gothic Horror Guide Best Tour Guide. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of like what they should be wearing as far as like their tour guide thing. Like, as you can see, I'm a winged monkey, the former, servants of the witch who used to live here back when we mattered. So, like, just very, very, like, nonplussed about the things. Okay, now that we've got that done, let's play some games or something. Yeah, no one really comes here anymore, so it's cool to see y'all. And so I think she would have her, like, tour outfit, and I think it will have, like, little... She wears a little shirt. It's got little like, sleeveys,
Right. The short sleeve for the that class of professional, as it were.
Yep. I think she wears shorts. I think she wears...
Does the uniform require pieces of flair?
God. Maybe, and as a VTube design, that's probably not a bad idea for her to have some flair. She'd probably have some flair. Should not be that sad. That's maybe a little too sad. I don't need to make her proud. She just have to, like, know. But, like, so that's what I'm thinking, like, for like, her tour guiding kind of thing. Can I duplicate a layer? We copy this? I might be able to. Work with me, program. Yeah! Okay, cool, because now I can erase stuff. Let me just move okay. Mostly I want to be able to erase stuff because I'm like, she should have that, but then like I feel like what happens is like during a stream, she essentially like will then like just dress down. Like, once she's done doing the tour business part, she's like, alright, cool, and I have to entertain all of you tourists today. Great, but every once in a while, she's just like, alright, cool, work's over, I'm gonna chill, and I think she does more like, kind of like a crop top.
Yep.
She maybe has, like, the upper part of this would be... See if I can get this. She got like the fishnet kind of top part going. With no sleeves. Sleeves are unnecessary at this point. So I can get rid of these. So just her bare arms. And like, yeah, she's just kind of been stuck doing this, is my feeling. It's like one of those like, yeah, I didn't really want to do this, but like it's a small castle, we don't have anywhere to go, so this is kind of just where I live, and when I'm done with this I like to go and chill out and play video games and not care because the amount of tourists we get is so epically small anyway. And I'm thinking, yeah, we go from the shorts to a skirt of some type. Like, part of me feels like, maybe a little more risque, maybe she's just, like, chilling in, like, underoos, essentially, but I'm kind of like, I know how terms of service go in places, so
right.
a skirt instead. But I think still having more of the fishnets would be fun. I think that'd be pretty cool. And if she don't have fishnets, she would definitely have like stripy socks. And as for like the rest of her persona, and obviously she wouldn't have her little hat thing on at this point. She would just be being herself, chilling out and playing video games with folks. And yeah, I think that's her. I think that's the vibe. I think she would be, pretty chill for the most part. And I don't know if there'd be like specific kind of games or content she'd be really suited to. Like she'd do the tour thing, and I think that would be obviously like it could be a redeem. She goes into tour guide mode or to goth mode or whatever at a certain time. Like, the redeem could be something like tourists are here and like little people appear at the like bottom of the screen, and she's like, "Welcome to the castle," which of course is also like the follow message.
Oh, right, yep.
Try not to break anything. I don't know, I think this would be a very fun, like, kind of thing, and then just having, like, backgrounds of, like, castle, almost like museum hallway, and then, like, another one that's just, like, her room that's, like, beanbags and just kind of little bit of a mess, Turns out when your entire society was based around being an evil minion, when there's nobody to tell you what to do, you just kind of don't do anything. So here I am, being here. Whatever. Grab a seat. We're gonna go and play some Fortnite. I don't know if it'd be Fortnite. I don't know what game she would play. I mean, whoever picks it up, you'll figure it out if you want. But yeah,
You'll find your vibe.
That's my thought for Winged Monkey. As far as a VTuber, I think that would be very fun. That was fun. I had a good time.
Those are some
coming up
really
with
nice
stuff.
ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun, practical exercise of the lesson we wanted to share.
Any of those ideas, if you want to grab them and go play with them as a VTuber, making anime, just your next role-playing game, you go right ahead, okay? I don't know how to mark a Creative Commons 0 on all of this, but essentially, yeah, any of the public domain VTubers that we came up with during this segment that do not include me or Drazov are pretty much good to go. Any of those that we came up with, yeah, you're free to play with. Yay! Well, I had a good time, everybody. Thank you so much. Go ahead, go out there, use the public domain to your heart's content. Listen, I'm just not sure how to sign off now. But anyhow.
So what I will say, if any of you do end up making anime out of this, hook us up with some merch. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
You don't even have to send it to us, just like discount codes. That'll be cool.
Yeah. That'll be pretty cool. And I'm gonna say another word about done. So as far as future stuff, other stuff going on, Drazov, what do you do?
Well, these days, I'm doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Tuesdays are for retro games. Right now, we are struggling through a very much aged 90s CGI puzzle adventure Chronomaster. It's got Ron Perlman doing the voice, so you got that. But Thursdays and Saturdays for other games, every other Thursday, I do reading.
Excellent. And that's
I would
all on
love for this to be
Twitch.tv?
Right. Yes, I'm over on the other one these days.
Yeah.
I no idea how long the schedule would last because wizards, late, early, blah blah blah. You know.
Excellent. As for myself, I'm planning on mostly continuing on the YouTube. As far as my streaming goes, I do not have a schedule at this point. As the new year starts, I will have a new, personal life schedule, and that will cause me to kind of reevaluate at that point. That being said, I'm gonna do a bunch of sporadic. I will likely do a bunch of sporadic streams over break over the next 2 weeks. I might be here. I might be on Twitch. I'll probably be here. There's a bunch of Fall Guys stuff I want to do. There are some creator rounds that have started to come out that are hellacious and amazing and hellacious, and you can see me struggle with a whole bunch of really difficult levels in Fall Guys. I think that could be a lot of fun. But okay, everyone, I had a great time. See y'all later. I gotta do.
Thanks for coming out. See you.
Bye.